Nah, fuck it.
That's right. Fuck it. Tattoo it on your forehead.
But backwards so you can read it in the mirror.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. I guess that's it. No, are we recording? No moments like that. We're just jumping straight into the show. Hey, everybody, before we begin, sponsor thank yous. First of all, Gooder Sunglasses, people. All fun, all style, all conditions, all under $36. No, really. Get over to Gooder.com. Immediately, you'll find all the styles and excellent quality that only Gooder can offer. Gotta get Gooder. Second, Scratch Labs, people. Fuel the fall fondo. Get over to scratchlabs.com and check out all the great offerings from the best tasting fueling option out there. And I mean that personally because we had a taste test here, and it won. It clearly won, and that was a blind taste test. So Scratch is the best. Third, Athletic Brewing, people. You enjoy that good post-ride beverage, you should seriously consider Athletic Brewing. Award-winning, non-alcoholic, when I put that in quotes because it does have a minuscule percent, but I think you'd have to drink like 80 to really feel something. Beverage options that help you recover, keep the weight off, and taste great. Use the link at packfiller.com today. And lastly, boy, there are a lot of reads. Wahoo Fitness, people. It's coming. The time to keep things going, the time to build for cross, the time to stay in shape over the colder months. Wahoo has you covered. Trainers, computers, heart rate, pedals, all the best. Use the link at packfiller.com today. So there are 2 links to click. The other ones just go to the website. That's what I do. I keep it clear. Go spit on you. Post. The smells, the sounds, the tastes of fall. An occasional crisp feeling in the air. Some jackass repeatedly posting crosses coming meme. Your neighbor actually burning wood in a fire pit after a summer of toxic smoke. Pumpkin spice. Oh, and here's something good, though. Fall beers. Things are changing, which is a little depressing. Grand Tours are over, but we got Roubaix.
Yeah.
In the studio, it's time for another Pack Filler, everybody. If we were all stereotypes of the cycling season, first and foremost would be the guy who stays fast all year long and never seems to get tired of bikes, Mr. Paul Main. How are you, man?
Fast? Well, that's relative. Jesus.
Second, the guy who disappears for about 4 months but comes back even fitter in the spring, which you truly despise, Mr. Jackson Bulger.
Hello.
Third, he's not here yet because he's running late, and this is kind of actually perfect because I wrote this a long time ago. Guy who shows up at one cross race and then disappears until the one spring ride where he wins the city limit sprint and is never seen from again. Mr. Jack Broadhead.
Oh,
silent
Jack.
mic. Yeah. Actually, it's good because I don't usually want to come at Jack with both barrels when he hasn't been here for a while. So I kind of soften into the fact that he's a bad guy. Me, I'm the guy who goes on a Jan Ulrich diet and balloons back up to simply huge and has to play catch up all next summer. I'm so terrified of that. I'm thinking that I'm going to do like either a Jan Ulrich or a Tom Bonin, where I just go to the clubs and snort coke all the time. Hey, Jack's here, everybody.
Speaking of snorting coke all the time.
I've never snorted coke.
Well, not that anyone can prove.
What the hell happened to your...
I need new flooring. I need Jackson's.
You haven't been here for a while. You walk in, you start to
insult the place.
Noticing you look a lot skinnier than you did last time.
There we go. Oh, that's a good recovery.
Ow.
What's wrong with this?
I don't know.
God, it smells like hell in here. Hey, have you lost weight?
I see how it goes. Oh my
You
God.
want to see my new shoes? Are you live yet?
Yeah, we've been live for 5 minutes. What are your new shoes? Are they Crocs?
It's a collaboration.
We can pick you up over the mics. It's actually okay. We can pick you up. It's
Okay.
It's a collaboration
Between Deschutes and Brooks.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
Fucking hell! Wait,
They're brand new. They can't smell that bad.
All right.
those are gorgeous. I want that for a cycling
You
shoe.
got like a Deschutes label inside.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh,
Did you get those in band?
that camera, Jack.
Oh.
This one right here.
Wow, big up to the
Nice.
PNW
So my
beers.
wife, she surprised me with them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That means
pretty
she wants
cool.
you to run more and not
Yeah,
ride.
that's
We ran
right.
this morning.
So it's us against her.
I got you something. Let's
an
go for a
ultimatum.
run.
The pretty
Yeah.
bike.
That's speaking. Who's got the pretty bike? That's my wife's bike.
I heard you in the one of the podcasts saying you're getting your wife a gravel bike.
Yeah.
And
There it is. There it is.
There it is. Yep.
Man.
Well, she paid for it. She paid for her own bike. I can't afford it.
You can't
Jesus
afford
Christ,
it.
she doesn't give me enough money. Yeah, exactly. Podcast.
Yeah.
How's the riding going? I'll wait for Jack. We'll let Jack go last. Well, should we make Jack go last?
No
Or should we make
riding.
Jack go first.
That's
None.
Oh, okay, it's all done.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
None. Why not?
I'm living vicariously through you guys.
Why not? Why not, Jack? Why not?
I've been busy.
You were doing it.
You're
You were-
lucky.
you
I know.
were
I
in-
was doing it.
But you stopped.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you got.
Yeah.
That's all you got.
Been
That's
busy.
it. Silence
You're
of
lucky I'm even
shame.
here
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah. Oh, you're
You're
privileging
lucky.
us with your presence.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Holy shit! This is how it's going to go tonight. At the beginning of the podcast, I said I was going to be kind of nice to you.
I wasn't here when you said that.
Yeah, I know. No, exactly. Writing week. Yeah, geez, guys, how did this past 7 days go? Because we are 7 days. We're broadcasting on a Wednesday. For those of you who usually show up to a live show on a what are we fucking now? Tuesday. Apologize for that. But Jackson's hair looks great. He got a haircut, and so
Is that why we didn't do it Tuesday?
Yeah, we couldn't miss out.
You know how hard it is to make a hair appointment at this time?
I haven't made a hair
It's so
appointment
hard.
When you get somebody who fucking knows your head, and you've got a head the size of ours, you fucking go whenever they tell you to go.
It's like shaving a globe.
Yeah.
Hey, see, that pisses me off because I could go to that same person. They're going to change the same amount of money, and I've got a pinhead. They got to work
And
twice
yeah.
as
Oh,
hard.
you're talking acreage here.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got
okay.
a broadhead.
Oh, that was
That's
good.
a good one, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm here all week.
I think I missed you. Yeah, and that'll be it. You'll be gone for another 3 months.
Another 3 months.
Jackson Bulger. Sorry, I actually assisted in naming you. And I forgot. How'd your ride week go, man?
Good, keeping it kind of consistent with what I've been doing in the past couple of weeks. Kind of starting on Thursday with our local spirited ride, and then not on Friday, and then hitting it on the weekend. We all did something Saturday and Sunday.
Ooh.
Yeah. But this upcoming week's going to be difficult. Obviously, I'm moving, so that'll be rough. But it was for last week's pretty good though. We rode hard, we rode fast, and I'm feeling good. So
I think we can come to a consensus that hard and fast were the phrases of Saturday and Sunday for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And Thursday. Holy shit, we had 3 fast rides this week.
Yeah.
Wow. Paul, how's your ride week?
Matched him,
Hard and
except one
fast.
extra day. Yeah, went out with the Waples boys and a guy, Bill, rides for another team.
Bill?
Yeah,
Just random Bill.
Bill. I'm
You
not
give
going
his
to
last
give his last name. No.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah,
right.
just
Yeah,
in
he
case,
might
yeah.
be in witness protection or
Yeah,
something
that's
like that.
right.
We
You
gotta
know,
take care of
I know he's in construction,
That'd be a
so
fake.
there's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
chance.
That's a chance. Yeah.
So, so we went out on Monday, and all of us were pretty tired. But Saturday was probably the roughest day for me because
This story.
My
I was
buddy-
waiting for this story.
yeah, we went down. They have a local brewery, Brick West, has their Oktoberfest, their fest beer out, and
Delicious. I'm going to have one for my second show beer.
yeah,
Not lying.
it was good.
Yeah.
And so Dismount Dave and I headed down, had 3. And I said, hey, I've got this great beer that I bought. I've had it before. It's really good. And he goes, yeah, let's, we headed up to my house and cracked it open. And it's Boulevard out of brewery out of Kansas City. And they have a bourbon cask quad, which quadruples have high alcohol.
Okay.
When I woke up in the morning, I'm like,
Immediately goes to the wake up.
yeah, because
It's a yada, yada, yada.
It's this, and when I woke up in the morning, there's no it was so
it was-
Never
enjoyable.
mind the
It was-
fact that I was in jail for 6 hours
Yeah.
because they found me in a parking lot with my keys up my ass.
don't know how I got there. 1 in a million shot.
I think it's flooded.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah, so that was very rough, and I knew I was kind of off basis when I'm halfway to meeting up for the ride, and I'm like, I don't have any water bottles. So I went around, picked up my water bottles, and then I'm thinking, I forgot to air up my tires because I didn't air them up for about a week.
Oh.
So it was a short little loop, and I stumbled getting off my bike. I'm thinking, what is wrong with me? And then halfway up, I'm like going, and when I'm just about to, either I'm still drunk or I am really terribly hungover. And there was no mercy. We did a hard. Well, I called it audible.
We're supposed to do an 80 plus,
and I would have never made it, especially with the speed. There's no way. But I don't know if we would have gone that fast out if we were doing 80 plus miles. But
I will say that the Thursday night race was it should honestly be my last one of the year, because I finally saw the front of the field.
Quit while you're ahead.
Yeah. We caught the front group and raced with them. I was somewhat involved in the action of the race for the first time since we've done these spirited rides. I keep saying race, and I rode away feeling like, oh my God, I'm somebody. It's like the new phone books are here. The new phone books are here. I'm somebody. That's an old movie reference.
Yes,
the jerk. That one, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that felt great. And then we roll into the weekend, and Saturday was just supposed to be a short one, quote unquote short one. And I was like going, Paul, why are we going so fast? You're like, because it's only a 30-mile ride. Holy shit. I got dropped on Valley Chapel Climb, which is a 1.5 mile climb here, and probably averages about 4 to 6.
Less than that, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I got dropped and still PR'd the fucking thing. And then Sunday I was expecting 4.5 to 5 hours, and I gotta admit, Jackson, you and I talked about it. It was like, I'm a little bummed that we're not going fully epic, that we weren't doing an 80-mile epic. It was like we got, and I don't want to turn it into this where it sounds like a sitcom where we're like, oh, the wife let me go, but we both had permission to go for 4.5 to 5 hours, and it was like, oh shit, maybe we should keep riding. We should just keep going or something like that.
And you didn't.
No, we did. No, we didn't. We got a little over 60.
I shouted out. Anybody who wants to go X-ray, you could go.
Yeah.
Or we popped out. You can go out.
But you
9
were
mile stuff. No, I was done.
Yeah,
I mean, I was cooked.
Well,
I was still hungover. I was going through hungover. I went past drunk in the first hour to hungover.
What's wrong with you?
It was 12.5% alcohol in that beer.
I know, but
I'm
you're
lightweight
seasoned.
nowadays.
No,
you're seasoned. Yeah. And I do have to ask, those rides were fast, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say though, the ride we did on Sunday was one of those days where it was like, I said this to you, it's like we did 50 and I felt like we just started. Like it was one of those special days where it was just like anything could have happened and it wouldn't have even mattered.
The gods just reached out and touched you, and it was a holy moment. It was it's just like, oh, Jackson, thou shalt go quickly today.
Exactly.
God's hand behind your butt.
Yes. Yep. Jackson, this is a safe touch.
Yeah. It's not checking your spine.
Yeah. Good reference. There's a callback.
Oh, yeah. The old scoliosis.
Yeah,
exactly.
Jack's been listening.
I got caught up in a drive across the state.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys want? I seriously am concerned about my PR, about what I can look forward to for next year. I think I said this to you in the ride, Paul. It's like, and I'm not. This is not a cocky statement. This is the statement of a 50-plus-year-old man who realizes that the window is slowly creeping down to the sill where it's going to close. God might open a door somewhere else, but that'll be like e-bikes or something like that. And
shuffleboard.
Yeah, exactly.
Golf.
Fucking golf. Yeah, exactly. And so I'm wondering, what do I have to look forward to next year? If all the PRs, these rides, I'm just looking PR. And I think I'm going to reach... Am I being pessimistic by thinking that, fuck, what am I going to do next year?
No, you're being unrealistic.
No, I'm not.
Yes, because you will always... I'm still PRing some sections.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm almost 59.
But you don't have the Jan Ulrich diet.
I don't think you will either. Now that you had the taste of your form of victory or something.
Yeah. Well, that small little form of victory. Yeah.
I've also seen though. There's like not to be cheesy, but I feel like there's been a persistence as well though, to where you've like, I don't know, not to
consistency.
Consistent. Yeah.
Okay.
It's very. I think it'll be good.
Jack, are there any thoughts on being a bike racer in 2022?
Yeah. Well, this season was canceled, so I just I got off early.
You're prophetic, weren't you? You're like, hey, man.
Yeah, I'll get all this work done this year, and next year I'll just.
I predict.
I'm looking to buy a new bike.
Cool.
Yeah, like seriously, what the wife said. We finished this flip, and I can go buy a bike. I'm like,
hey, good luck finding one.
What? I got my eye on one.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Better grab it before it disappears.
I know, right? Any leaks you want to squeal to the show? What? Any kind
Somebody will buy it if I let anybody know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No.
I will say that I saw the Canyon's releasing some right now.
Oh,
yeah.
That might be worth looking at.
Mm-hmm. You want a BMC? I've got the last one for the whole year. So
He did.
Yeah.
Well, of your size.
Yeah. And we probably ride the same size.
Almost all sizes. I've been looking around just in case I crash. I always go look for new and used. Yeah, I gotta have a finger on the pulse to know what I've got to save up.
Enough balance in the credit card.
So what do we spend on a electronic shifting disc bike, all carbon?
Wow.
What's the going rate just for like a pro-ish quality?
Ultegra-ish?
Yeah. But it was because I've had people tell me Dura-Ace and Ultegra, you're just like, why spend the money on Dura-Ace?
I can't look on any websites because nobody has any inventory. But
I will say that in my
Canyon.
Yeah, there you go. In my
Canyon's good.
Very reasonably priced, I will say, from them. And I will also say that I was talking about this with one of the Waples this last weekend, that the difference between Ultegra and Dura-Ace is so minuscule, in my opinion, that I would probably always buy Ultegra.
You're like the 10th person that said that to me too. So I believe it's
just weight, really. The performance.
It's not even enough weight to. I don't think.
I think
it's like 100 grams.
Yeah, 200, maybe
something.
100, 200.
Yeah.
Like I shit 200 grams every morning. So
that's all.
I don't know.
That's all.
You weigh it?
Got a couple
You
different
don't?
questions here.
No. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on.
I think BMC
that's a half
has
a pound, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
it's about a half a pound heavier.
Yeah, I shit about a half a pound.
That's not much. Yeah. What do you eat? Puffed rice?
That's what
Jesus.
Shimano.
Why do you shit a pound?
I think BMC's is around 8,000.
I'm looking at
a force group.
Okay. We are not in any way endorsed by Canyon or even BMC.
Right.
But I am on their website right now. There's an Arrow Road CFS LX8 disc DI2 with Shimano Ultegra, DT Swiss wheels, $59.99.
Wow,
that's really competitive.
That's a fucking.
And that's a Canyon.
Bike. That's a Canyon. Now, if I went to some of the other,
is it available?
Let me look.
You would be a 58. Or would you ride a 56?
I'm 56. I think I'm shrinking in my old age.
Oh. Paul, what do you
Canyon's got some weird sizing.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like I get confused between traditional frames and compacts and the raised top tubes. I'm just like,
I used to
ride a 53. I think I ride a 53 now, because it just depends.
What did you on a standard steel bike?
A 57.5. 57, yeah.
So
November.
Probably 56.
November.
No,
November
that's
will be
available. And that, in the grand scheme of things, is not too far out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It really isn't.
It's stealthy. It's
Yeah.
all matte black.
Mm-hmm.
And in my opinion, I think the Ultegra disc brake rotors look better than the Dura-Ace ones.
So
But that's just me.
There you go. That's actually less than I was willing to spend.
Wow. Want to buy a bike? I got something.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I got a 2010.
I feel like
I'm riding a 2010.
I feel like Mr. Miyagi, where you can walk into the other room and I can go choose.
I already bought one. Hey, so you were talking about doing cross. What bike are you doing cross on? I own your cross bike.
I don't think I'm going to.
I own it now.
No,
you don't even know you don't have a cross bike anymore.
I don't. I was thinking about doing cross on my gravel bike, but then I realized that's just dumb.
Like, I was listening to the podcast. I'm like, you don't realize I bought your bike from you.
Some good old
You just
calipers.
somewhere back there, you think the elephant's
It's
still
a
sitting
loaner. You're renting it.
Yes. Shit. That was 1 year.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul and Jackson, any thoughts on how we're going to approach this Corte Fondo here in 2 weeks?
I'm really been like racking my mind about this because I have been in BWR headspace. It's coming to a point where every time I say it now we have to drink because I mention it so often.
We're almost there.
Yeah. But to where I just was in survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
And this is so different because road is such a different thing altogether. And I've looked at like the course profile and everything, and it's like this is almost a different game to where it's like I don't need to be in survival mode. I could more be in that like long distance race mode.
Okay.
And so I'm thinking about not every stop, but when things get low, every stop, like kind of a situation. You know what I mean? Like when supplies run low.
I've done 2 legit long fondos, Ellensburg and Belgian Waffle, and each time I blew off the first feed zone, and each time I suffered like a dying animal in the field. Anyway, sorry, was that too violent of a image?
Nobody shot you.
No.
But you were saying
I'm treating this more as a long effort, rather than a survival type of situation.
Well, if it's anything like, what was it, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? It was 2018, 3 years ago when I did it. It was from the gun. We were doing 27 miles an hour.
oh shit.
It was supposed to be neutral, and the lead vehicle was in the front, and everybody was motor pacing behind it. It was crazy. And there's about at the halfway point for the 90 miler, you do a loop, and it adds that 116 or whatever it is, that extra. And that climb, that's what I got detached, and I was riding by myself after that. But it's not slow by any means.
No,
there's people that. But that year there was a Italian like Pro Conti team was
4
there.
guys there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All I know is because I was announcing it and I had to play the Italian national anthem.
I tell you, this time
we were in Idaho and a couple
They
guys
actually
looked at
have
me.
a winner.
A couple guys looked at me. Yeah, they do actually time it. So,
this year, I'm gonna make sure my crankset's on.
Yeah, that's a good goal.
That's a good idea.
That fell off.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
With about 10 miles ago.
That mic is really low. Do you always have your mic that low? No, I mean, whatever works for you. You just moved it back to the same place. Yeah.
Oh, you can
Well, you can rattle it and make people, pull back the
shit out of
curtain,
people.
but you can just force it up there if you need to.
I'm good. I slouch.
Okay. Is anybody take time off? I know I've asked this before. Is anybody planning any time off for the winter? Paul's shaking his head no. Jackson?
Cycling's an entertainment to me as well.
Wow, okay.
So I'll probably just move to the trainer or just wear warmer clothes.
Yeah.
Good man.
I'm not taking any time off.
You're not? You're kicking it in. This is when you're fucking doing it, man.
I usually choose to ride when it starts raining or snowing. So
So you not taking time off is like this one guy, he said, I never got dropped. I was never on. So
I know. I was about to say you're not taking time off. You're taking time on at this point.
Yeah, anything's on.
All I know is, Jack, I need you to show up because there are times when the pace gets high and
you need somebody behind you to drop back to.
No, I'm the only guy. I'm the only guy using profane words when I get dropped. When I get dropped, and
I was doing that.
I'm starting to think I really have a problem with profanity. You guys need to let me know.
Thing.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
You guys need to let me know. Yeah. Because, I think I said something to one of the Waples boys about, dude, if you ride like you have sex, or something like that, and I don't know if that was uncalled for, but I thought it was funny. It just popped into my head.
Yeah.
Well, he went out really hard. I mean, fucking fast. I mean, it was like, holy shit, I can't hold on. And I just, this thought popped into my head. And so I said, don't. Well, it is Sam.
It's all out now.
Yeah, exactly. So, but So nobody's planning any time off. Jack, is there a time off?
Time on.
No, I mean, and I don't mean just cycling. I mean, in terms of working out, do you have an off season? Is there like, okay, between now and Thanksgiving, I'm fucking nothing?
Yeah, not any length of time, but like a month. I think, like when we were younger, we would take that 2 months off, get totally out of shape. Have to, like, December 1st, try to, like, okay, we're going to start getting some activity going. And I heard you saying last podcast or two, January was like, all right, it's go time. But here in Spokane, you're weather dependent. You're way behind anyway. Guys in Seattle are riding all the time in the weather, in the rain, with fenders. So I know they're overrated. Which bike are they on?
Right now, they're not on any bike.
Okay.
But, yeah. I probably won't put them on the Giant.
As someone who lived in a rainy place, it's a dumb thing to do.
I hate it. Riding in the rain. It really does, because you're just saturated to the bone.
Yeah. It's not.
Fenders, you're a little bit better, but you have to have the Gore-Tex jacket.
Yeah.
You have to have the right gear plus fenders to do it. But.
See, Paul's looking at me just going, "This is stupid." But then you're the guy who won't race cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
Or cross.
Or do cross, or ride in the shitty weather.
Mm-hmm.
So
I did cross. How do I do it?
What's your secret, Paul Man?
Polar fleece. And that's how you have to do it. Train around here. It's cold.
Spikes in your tires.
Yeah.
So you're still out there. You're still
I have been. I didn't last year. My wife does panic. You're going to break a hip, type thing.
Yeah.
So you're getting older. And, I drink a gallon of milk a day. So
there you go.
Really?
Yeah. Your bones just must be.
They're hard as rock.
Hard as rock, but thin. You have thin bones, right?
Yeah, I'm like a bird, hollow in the middle.
I'm checking the news headlines. All right, you guys, check the headlines. News brought to us by Mojo Cyclery, the home for gravel in the Inland Northwest. Trust me, if you want the experts on gravel, you got to get your Mojo on. I don't even think that's their logo, but their name, but I just came up with it. I mean, I'm sure they probably said it, but I'm just going to take credit for it now. And I want $1 every time somebody says it. Hey, the Tour of Britain. Is anybody watching the Tour of Britain?
Yeah.
Holy shit, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nobody. I'm getting crickets from the rest of the guys. The return of aggression. Wout van Aert, Julian Alaphilippe. Great racing, in my opinion. I guess I'm going to just, it might just be Paula and me talking about this one. But GCN.
Okay.
We're back on GCN racing, which is no offense to anybody else, but it's a fun platform. Audio's a little chintzy, but hey, what are you gonna do? Some of the riders of the race that it would mean for the fall classics: Wout, Alaphilippe, Michael Woods, Nico Roach is actually flying right now. Here we're staring down the barrel of some of our fall classics. Yeah. Does anybody have any who we should watch out for, this person or that person or anything like that? Especially with Paris-Roubaix being moved to.
The World Championships.
Yeah, World Championships are still coming too.
A week from this weekend.
Okay, so we can do another show before our World Preview,
the 20.
Right?
No, sorry. It's the 25th is the road. I think is when it starts. So it's a week. It's a week ahead of Paris-Roubaix. So this is a tune-up for those classic. You said it's getting more exciting is because you have classic riders doing the stage race as opposed to, the skinny little climbers waiting in the last minute in the last climb and yada yada yada.
Boring little assholes. But no, it was like today's stage alone.
It was a good.
Should I spoil it?
Yeah. I know what happens.
It was a great final sprint, and when you're seeing both the guys first and second falling off the bike, I mean, it looked like a cross country ski race. Everybody's like they're all falling all over the place. It was a lot of fun to watch. So I think there's only 1 or 2 stages left, right? Or does it go through the weekend? It goes through the weekend. So we got a couple more days. Mm-hmm. Transfer news. Did you guys hear the best name in professional cycling right now? Odd Christian Eiking is now been linked to EF First Nipo.
Not only linked, it's for sure.
Yeah.
Which I think is a pretty good idea for them. I think he could be a future prospect if he was able to keep that red jersey for the little bit of time that he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. really rode well. Jack, did you catch any of the Vuelta?
Or all of it.
You did?
No,
Okay.
yeah, I was. I was.
I'm not giving you shit by saying
pleasantly
that.
surprised with what great racing it was. The back and forth, it wasn't like take the Jersey at stage 6 and ride it to 21.
Yeah.
So it was pretty awesome. In fact, Monday morning after the Vuelta ended, I had a little typical like Tour de France withdrawal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now what do I do?
Yeah.
Like, I
And little
normally
did
wake
you
up.
know, you had Tour of Britain.
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, why didn't you guys call me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I waking up. Typically, I'll turn on the TV at 5 and start the Vuelta or the.
Somebody
the
else
tour.
gets up at 5.
And
It's just blue collar guys.
And if the stage is really good, I'll just go to work whenever the stage is done. I don't really have a schedule. So
That's when you're your own boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, be your own boss.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So that I'm impressed with EF Nippo's because I've usually considered them not obviously a one of the huge big budget New York Yankees type of an organizations, but Vaughter seems to be doing really well with the money he has. Mm-hmm. A lot of great races.
Is Eiking worth a lot of money? I know he's had some success.
If he was EF Nippo, I don't think would have him.
Mm-hmm. Right, and that's what I'm saying. So they kind of gamble on the hey, this is amazing potential for being seen.
Yeah,
if EF first was in the jersey for 6
he was
days,
with Wanty Gobert, Intermarché, he was with that squad. Which is an impressive growth from a team over a year after they stepped up to World Tour level.
I might make an out of the park or out of left field prediction here, but I think that with the rise of Jumbo-Visma that we saw kind of slowly but surely, I think EF could be one of those teams because they've got a lot of younger aged guys that are starting to show their faces more and more at the front of these things. I mean, obviously Magnus Cort isn't a young buck anymore, but
what a Vuelta!
Yeah, hit a great.
Like they've now got Rigo, they've got Higuita, they've got Carthy. All of these names are starting to show up more and more on these lists, and it's almost like, how long is it until they reach that point of like one of those teams? Because they've been building for a long time, and the building's got to get somewhere, and I think it's starting to go to where they want it to.
That would be a coup of all time for them to reach that level. But Jumbo-Visma probably didn't have the numbers when they first started in terms of budgetary. And you just, as things grow, sponsors hopefully get more excited. And I don't know Jonathan Rodgers. I don't know what kind of a boss he is, but he seems to be doing some right things. So, Ilya Viviani, you hear about this one? He's going to be riding in Ineos colors next year. Mm. The Cofidis experiment
went right back.
Yeah. So he's
full circle.
Yep. So back to Ineos. Interesting choice, I think, by Ineos.
Yeah, they're gonna have a sprinter.
Yeah. I don't know if he's gonna have a whole lot of support.
Cav with Sky is essentially that team. So pick a certain race, and he may have support.
Cav's
not the Tour.
Cav's DeConing.
I know, but he was a Sky rider.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he got support at times, but I don't know. There'll be a certain race he'll get support. Yeah. Not the Tour.
The end of Dan Martin's career. Dan has announced his retirement at the end of the season. Sad to see. Any great Dan Martin moments?
Go for it. I was just saying, when he won Liège, I thought that was pretty cool. And then he almost did it again, but he slipped on, which I found out, a pin the second time in the final corner. They changed the finish, but he greased out in a corner. I'm thinking, God, Mavic tires again. But it was somebody dropped a pin. So I heard. I don't know if it's true.
A writing utensil pin.
Yeah.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
That'll skid. Well, he was hitting it at fast speeds. He was shooting the gap
Martin,
and stuff.
can I get your autograph? Oh, shit. Yeah. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Sorry.
Kiel Reinen is leaving Trek Segafredo, and he's going to gravel. He's going to be a gravel guy.
I could see that happening.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's the guy. Well, he's the guy that ran 18 miles just for the spirit of Unbound. Because something insane happened to his bike. So I knew he would go that way. I think Quinn Simmons is going to go that way too.
Really?
I think he might. because part of me thinks that Quinn's going to get frustrated with the lack of wins that he's getting and just go straight to gravel.
We'll
He seems
see
like
in
one
the
of those
classic.
guys.
He's a classic rider, so yeah, I would agree if he doesn't do well, but he hasn't had a chance to perform in the classics.
Yeah.
So I mean, he won amateur Ghent-Wevelgem. He's I think in Paris-Roubaix, the amateur Paris-Roubaix or junior. He did well, if not won.
I think he's got too much to prove still.
Yeah,
I think that and this is to the haters of Quinn Simmons, and everybody. Regardless, I think the guy is bullheaded and talented, and he's just like, fuck everybody. I'm gonna go fast.
And that's what worries me about him.
Yeah,
is
really.
because
he might pout too much if things don't happen.
Because if things don't start going his way, I think he's so strong-headed in that point to where he'll just go, screw it. I'll do whatever I want, and I'll do it myself.
Fine. Screw you guys. I'm going home. Sorry, that's my really bad
to America.
Yeah, to America. And of course, one of the big stories is dealing with transfer news. Is Miguel Angel Lopez could see his time at Movistar cut short as team management considered terminating his contract following his controversial exit from the Vuelta. He won the Queen stage of the race on Thursday and was third overall, but suddenly abandoned the race on the penultimate stage after missing a key split in the GC group. He issued an apology in the aftermath and vaguely stated that, quote, "We are humans, not machines," end quote. While team boss Eusebio Unzue criticized his rider but refused to look too far ahead on Monday. However, he was interviewed on Spanish radio and confirmed Lopez's future was up in the air. So my first thing before we kind of get into where we're going to take this show is thoughts on Lopez's behavior and how you would predict, or how you would, if you were in that position of Movistar, to react.
I don't know. It seems like, first of all, this is classic Movistar.
He's on the perfect
It
team.
sounds like movie star because the whole fucking team is like a dramatic movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that I had to learn this a couple years ago, but whether you miss a split or not, you got to finish. You got to finish a Grand Tour. I think that's such a special thing to be able to do that. Like, you see a lot of the first-time finishers of a Grand Tour like crying at the end of it. This was such a special achievement.
Sure.
And then to kind of take advantage of that, I get that you're like a high-level pro, but it's almost like look where you came from is where my head's at. It's like you kind of taking advantage of the situation you've been put in, and so you're just kind of pouting and quitting and saying that it's not worth it anymore. I don't know. It just, I get why they're saying that it's up in the air, probably to scare the hell out of him so he doesn't do it again. Yeah. Because I don't think he wants to be out of a contract next year, because that's no money. So. Yeah.
Anybody, you think he'd be out of a contract? You think somebody wouldn't pick him up and just kind of grab him?
Yeah, Stano will probably take him back.
Yeah. They don't care about attitudes.
I think the unfortunate thing for him, going back even last year, I think in the Vuelta, Marc Soler was on or 2 years ago, I think he had to wait for, maybe even 3 years ago, he had to wait for Quintana.
Yeah.
And he threw a big fit, because he's going to win the stage, and they said, wait. It seems to be a returning theme, and the way I understand it is he missed the split being Lopez on the second to last stage, and so what he was trying to do is bridge, and he was doing a lot of work. He had a teammate. Their team, they only had 4 guys left, I think, and one of the teammates supposedly was bridging up, and the director said, back off, don't work, we got somebody coming to help you, otherwise you're going to help everybody else. That was the team side of things. Lopez's side was, they didn't want me to interfere with the potential of Enric Mas, who's Spanish, So,
oh boy,
yeah. Who knows? The initial quote of the apology was not voiced by Lopez. It was read off by the team director or somebody, or a PR guy. So, the unfortunate thing is even if he just finished, he would have been in the top 10. That's money to the team.
Yeah.
You know.
Sure.
And then you can talk. To me, anyway.
But he wouldn't have lost third place if he wouldn't have bridged. If without bridging, he still would have got third place.
No.
He would
have been in the top 10. He had to make that lead break because
there was
Jack Haig, or not Jack Haig, but who's a Bahrain victorious guy they got?
Was it Caruso?
No,
it was Jack.
Jack Haig.
Yeah, he's Bahrain.
Yeah,
he was the one that got third.
Yeah. So he was up. Bahrain was playing. They were creating that split. That was team effort to get to because Lopez was sitting third.
Yeah.
So everybody benefited from Lopez getting dropped in a win.
It's a team sport, and you sign a contract, and you're not the boss.
Yeah.
Whether we're talking F1 or professional cycling or soccer, you're not. When you're at that level, it's no longer an individual sport. It's not triathlon. So you are told what to do, and if you can't take team direction, then you should pick a different sport. Go to triathlon. I mean, mountain bike racing. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe that's
just
gravel.
say it.
Gravel.
He should go to gravel.
Oh no! You swear at gravel, but you didn't swear at triathlon.
Well, fuck triathlon.
Oh no!
We lost 3 listeners.
All right, yeah. Well, this kind of takes me to the topic, and we have sold our souls. So the topic is brought to us by our friends at Ambassador Cycling. Speaking of people who go way too fast on a bike, you need proper fit. Trust me, especially in Fondo season where you're spending a lot of time on the bike, or even worse in the winter months where the majority of your riding is in the saddle. That means fit is critical. Get to ambassadorcycling.com and immediately book a consultation with Sam. So where I want to take this is I want to take this to the issue of mental health and in the sport. Sure, for many of us, bikes are our release, right? Jackson, you were saying it earlier. You don't take time off because cycling is
some of my entertainment.
Your entertainment. It's our pastime. It's our hobby. It's our passion. Many of us couldn't think of a better way to escape life's stresses, right? But for some, especially the ones at the highest level, the sport brings immense pressure to the point of breakdown. We saw it with Lopez in the Vuelta. That was not. I don't think that was a childish fit. I think that was everything I've worked so hard for. It almost seemed like it was a mini mental breakdown where he just lost it. He wasn't thinking rationally at the time. He
called his wife, right?
Yeah,
from the car
in tears.
Yeah,
and just completely broke down. We saw Tom Dumoulin take a break because of the mental stresses. We saw Marcel Kittel leave in his prime years. We saw Mark Cavendish at rock bottom a year ago, only to have a truly renaissance year this year. So let's talk about the stresses at the sport at all levels. I want to talk about it from us here to all the way up to the top. And I've broken into little categories here. So first of all, the stresses of training. I always used to think that, and I've said this many times on the show, that if you weren't riding 5 times a week, minimum, you weren't training. And so I've slowly begun to realize I still haven't let it go. I'm still thinking I fucking suck. And this might be what's helping me stay in shape is just the reminder that I suck. I need to put it on my mirror in the morning. It just says,
I'm gonna make you a sticker.
Nobody likes you. Nobody likes you. You fucking suck.
Yeah, your handlebars.
Yeah, I would put
you
that.
Suck.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you should get your computer to just blip it once in a
occasionally.
While. You suck
with a voice. You fucking suck. But it's got to have the F-bomb because that's just that. Because you suck is one thing.
It's not
you
enough.
Fucking suck. That's worse, don't you think? So what are your thoughts on proper training and how to avoid mental stresses and or burnout? I know for some of us, and Jack, I'm not going to bust your balls on this one because you have raced at the elite level for a long time, and and you have experienced the stresses of training and the trying to balance all the elements in our lives. Here we are talking about our own lives at our own levels. how do you avoid that mental stress and that burnout when it comes to the sport? I don't care who goes first, but somebody can jump in.
Yeah, I always found, especially like in college, that because I had quote unquote time, which I never really did.
No.
But I would always get anxious about, like, what do I lose if I take time off? I still get that way.
Mm-hmm.
And could I have some sort of anxiety? Yeah, that's what college does to you. But I that's something that I've always had a really tough time.
I hate to belittle it, but just get ready.
No,
life is pain. Isn't that another Princess Bride quote?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Your Highness.
Yeah. But
you mock my pain.
Yeah.
Life is pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's something that I struggle with every once in a while, is just like knowing that if you take a week off, you're not going to become the slowest person on the ride, you know. So it's something that I deal with, but I also tell myself that, like, other people have days where they don't have to ride hard every day, like, or weeks that they don't have to ride hard every day. So I just have to tell myself that in order to get away from that anxious feeling deep in my stomach.
Okay. How do you guys do it? How do you guys avoid the training burnout? I'm doing too much.
For me, it's in the past. I mean, when I got started, of course, your goal is to go as far as you could possibly go.
Mm-hmm.
And you did need to train, 5-6 days a week. I mean, you had a regiment and you stuck with it. And I used to panic all the time if something I got to get, it's just like a drug addiction, I got to get on my bike, or you start getting cranky. But, as life goes along, you have to start sorting out when you hit 30 years old and you're not going very far. It's time to start putting some balance in your life. And it may be sooner for other people, and some people that we know in this state took it quite far.
Yeah. But how do you compete with the guys who are,
living at
totally going for it, either living at home or destroying their marriages because they're on their bikes 24/7, and you're still towing up to the line with these guys, and you want to. I know the people in this room, and you guys want to be competitive. You don't want to go to a race and never see the front like I did in every fucking spirited ride this week. Yeah, I swore again. But you guys, I know you guys, you want to do that. What do you do with the people? How do you deal with the people who don't have family restrictions, and how do you maintain that balance without ruining something?
Well, you can't race. I mean, that's not. It's not realistic to choose, like, if somebody lives at home. So I think back to, like, when I was 20, and I had a coach that described your daily routine from the time you wake up, or your week or your month, as basically you got this backpack, and every stress is a rock going in your backpack. And as you get, like, you have an 8-hour day job, and then you got training. Yeah. So you get off work at 3:30 and you're going to go put in a 50-60 mile ride. You've already got a half full backpack full of rocks. You're living on your own, you're paying your rent, you're trying to get, do the adult thing, but also trying to race at a high level. And then there are some people that, whether it's through sponsorship and just payment, or I had teammates that lived at home and that were same age as I. Mom and dad fed them, mom and dad, put a roof over their head. And so their ability to, the difference between, like, getting up at 5 or 6 and going to work 8 hours and then get on your bike, versus get up, go for a ride, eat breakfast, proper breakfast, go for a ride, come home, take a nap, and then maybe go for an afternoon ride, was like, night and day. And so the stress is the backpack full of rocks. I've used that description of stress.
It's a great metaphor
amongst people I've been in relationships with, talking to my kids, talking to other people. Like, if you're sort of counseling somebody to, like, your anxiety and stress level is the way you take it on is weighing you down. And so imagine 30 pounds, 30 pounds of body weight.
He can.
Why did you point to me?
God.
But that's kind of where the backpack full of rocks is like,
Paul got it before I did. Yeah.
It's metaphorically slowing you down with stress and your ability to recover and your ability to deal with. And so then that takes you to this level of, when you're trying to peak for a certain event or a month, you're at this ribbon of fragility that is borderline insanity. Like you're not exactly who you are when you're fat and sassy. You're emotional. I mean, so
is that why I swear so much?
You can. So Paul nodded. I'm telling you, there's been times in my life where, and cycling a lot, but running, there's been times where I've been, right fully on where I'm, a certain ad on TV and I'm tearing up. My wife says I never cry. Like, I've never seen you cry, but
oh, Jesus.
like I'm,
you didn't obviously see the second Avengers movie where,
where I'm watching the Olympics.
I Love You 3000.
I'm watching the Olympics and I'm tearing up because the guy from the U.S. wins gold.
Yeah.
But so anyway, that all of that creates just a super fragile person that at any moment can just crack. I mean, whether it's Lopez going, fuck this, I don't. He's not. Yeah. He's sort of gets out of control at that point. You're not in your own control. I felt it.
To shift to racing, the concept of going from the training load to the racing. Riding your bike a lot is one thing, and then agreeing to be a bike racer automatically changes the level of commitment. We can all probably agree with that one. Family life. How do you deal with so much selfish time? That's a gigantic issue. Jackson, you and I were kind of lightheartedly joking. It's like, wow, we've been given a 4.5 hour pass. We better use it. It's like a budget of a construction budget, for the state. If we don't use this time, we're not going to get it. So we better lean against our shovels and use the budget up. How do you deal with that? How do you handle the stresses of work life? I guess we kind of did, dealing with that and racing it at the highest possible level. I don't understand it, like you were saying, Jack, how you can fill a backpack and still expect to race against guys who are playing video games in their mom's basement at the age of 40. And then I guess lastly, how do you deal with people who how do you help people who can no longer achieve their goals? Because of injury, because of life commitments, because of things like that. I don't mean this as a pity party. We talk about our good friend CP, who's got kids, he's got life, he's got all kinds of stuff going on, and I know the dude, man. And CP, if you're listening, I know you, man. I know that you want to be out on your bike, and I know that's got to be bugging you. But how hard is it to deal with all those issues when you're dealing with a sport like cycling? And Jackson, I hate to weigh this on you, but your life's going to turn to shit. It's going to get horrible.
Well, I think that the way I view, at least coming into adulthood, is like taking everything one step at a time. Right now, starting a new job and everything, you just kind of have to figure it out, and you got to be willing to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something that kind of breaks down as people get older, is the willingness to figure it out. The fact that if one thing changes, the whole day is ruined. I think that's something I've started to notice, and I'm not talking about any of the people in this room, but the older people get, the less flexible people also get. Not physically, obviously, but
both.
But
that is absolutely true.
Yeah, and it's like
one thing, and you're like, not doing that today.
Yeah, and
I catch myself doing it all the time.
Yeah, and it's I don't know. I always view that, and I go, I can't do that, because
you will.
But I got to tell myself that I can't.
Right.
Yeah, because I think that
I'm joking. That was a
no.
joke.
I know.
I said you will, because you could beat it.
Yeah. But that's the thing that I think is important in this sport, especially, is when, let's say, and Paul has mentioned it a couple times. If it, with yard work stuff, like you're able to get an hour, which I think is such like a valuable thing. It's like you do have responsibilities, but you can also fit it in there if you're passionate enough about it. And I think that for me at least, I'm passionate enough about this because I wasn't passionate enough about soccer, so I'm trying to carve out time for this because mentally soccer was what broke me originally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you really have to be on the amateur level realistic. I mean, if your goals are, in our youth, you do when it comes to road racing, there is time. You devote a lot of time, and if you work like Jack was saying, there's no time for girlfriends. You try, and it's disastrous, or it never works out.
That's like third on the list or fourth on the list, and nobody wants to be fourth on your list.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, then when you're 50, that all changes. The wife's first, the kids are first,
grandkids,
jobs first. So
bike
racing's fifth or sixth. Yeah, and
tied for seventh.
Yeah, it's a lot different. I mean, you have a real job now, so your bike racing's kind of second because you got to pay your bills. But I mean, but I preach it all the time. It's like, if it's worth doing, God, I know I can get up at 4 in the morning and ride 5 to 7 and go to work. Do I?
No way.
Fucking don't. And
that's bullshit. People don't really do that.
And I'm telling you,
the people who do that are the assholes whose marriages are just going to shit.
Right.
Because they're always fucking perky in the morning. Now it's like,
hey, honey, I'm up. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. You want to go? Let's go get a smoothie. Fuck you. It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
I did it for 20 years.
You're an asshole.
Yeah, I know I am. That's beside the point. Now, it's one of those things that by the time I would get home, I'd squeak in like 2-hour ride. You're looking at 6:30 or 7 o'clock, and they don't even know you're gone. You just didn't interrupt their sleep. You have time when you get home to do all the honeydews. You don't. It's when you get home from work, and it's like, do you mind for a second? It's over. You're not going to get a ride.
Really?
It's like anytime I did it after work, I planned on a ride. It's harder than heck. And then as my life got more and more, with kids and mortgage, and then neighbors want you to help them with this and that. And as soon as you go home, it's all over. If I didn't get it done in the morning, which meant wake him up at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh my God!
In the dark and going.
Oh, I'd be such a wasted piece of shit for the rest of that day. I used to be able to get up at 6 something and work out, but not
to talk about running, but I did used to get off work, like working here locally as an electrician. I'd get off work at 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I'd be beat, but I'd be on runs till for 2-hour runs. I had 15-mile nights where I'd go for a serious or spirited Thursday night, but it'd be spirited Tuesday night, and then I'd be running extra miles. But my wife ran, so there's a little bit of if your wife rides a bike, a gravel bike, you may get a 1 more day a week.
I got a great ride on Monday with my wife.
I got 5, 6, 7 days a week of running because my wife was involved with running. So.
Let's shift to the thoughts of the stress levels on current professionals. And in terms of what we're seeing, in the professional peloton, we've got riders, like I said at the onset of the topic, riders who are burning out at what appears to be a younger age. Do you guys consider the stress levels higher, lower, or are they consistent as they were since the times in our careers of watching or experiencing bike racing? How have the levels shifted, and do you think they've increased, or what do you think the reason might be?
One thing I've seen recently, and this is not only in cycling, I'm starting to see it in soccer as well, is like with the lack of rest that these people are getting, it's almost just accelerating that breakdown of the body. Because there's a soccer player who plays for Barcelona, and he played 92 straight days, or like he got a 2-day vacation and then actually decided to come back to training. It's like this guy's in his early 20s. Like, if he continues this, he's going to have an injury that will last him forever. Like, it will stick with him forever. And it's like, that's what worries me a little bit about riders like Pogacar or Bernal.
Wout and
Sure.
Yeah.
Vanderpool and
Who are going cross, straight through.
They have no break, and it's
Yeah.
like, when does that catch up to you?
Mhm.
That's the only thing that worries me, because there is so much pressure, especially on these young riders, where it's like, if you're 22, you should be winning the Tour now. And if you don't, by the age of 24, you're a failure.
See, when we first grew up, the team rules were, if you were that young of age, you didn't even ride a Tour.
a full tour. Yeah, you might get a week at the Tour.
Yeah, Le Mans didn't start his first Tour until probably 21, 22 or something like that. I think he started with Renault at 19.
But also the Grand Tour winners, and it's not that unlike now with Grand Tour winners, but they'll show up to a couple races in the preseason, Dauphiné, and then the Tour, and then you wouldn't see them again. Maybe they'll be at Lance or somebody at the Worlds, but the racing was like 20, 30 races a year.
We are seeing riders doing a much
a
broader calendar, which almost goes full retro, where you had a lot of the riders doing full calendars. Bernard Hinault, Le Mans, racing Sean Kelly, all those guys racing the entire season. Are we staring down the barrel of a career being shorter but burning brighter for pros?
I think it depends on the individual. Just to touch back on the subject, and my take on it is, money has a huge. When you're signing a contract, you're asked to perform, and Jackson, what he says, there's no turning off. If you have to be on your first. Everybody expects Sagan, that part of his pressure too, and he kind of cracked it mentally a little bit, is because, man, we're paying you big bucks, and not just the team. Sponsors like Specialized and stuff. I mean, wherever he goes, you got to be on your game. That's a tremendous amount of pressure, I think, for Dumoulin to touch his deal. I mean, the Dutch people were just like, he's the new Messiah. They were hoping for finally a really good Dutch champion outside of Zoetemelk, and that pressure just gets so much. And I think another thing is social media weighs on a lot of these riders big time, and that's something that never before. And you hear old riders, we're going back to like fitness. They literally by the Worlds, they'd go with their family, go down to Spain, the beach, even out their tan, come back. They might do a little bit, and catch up on their drinking, and then January, whatever the first race is, guys were like 10 kilos, maybe not 10, but 5 kilos.
They'd race their way
into the weight. Yeah. I mean, Sean Kelly raced, man, those guys were racing all the time.
Yeah.
They didn't have time to train. Training was in between races. It was to fill in the gap.
Yeah.
So money makes a huge thing. And so you have to. And in European football, American football, people are cracking left and right.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was this, I wish I could remember the coach. Coaching, he played in the NFL back in the 70s. They said, what's the difference between the players in the NFL today as opposed to when you're playing? He said, when I was playing, it was a privilege. We felt like it was a privilege to play, and we were getting paid for doing something we like. Now they feel like you owe them the money that they do. And he says that's altered so much.
Yeah.
And I think that bears on all. I mean, even when European footballers have to stay in shape, because if they don't, they got some young kid coming in, they're off. They lose their $20 million a year.
We've seen the style of racing shift.
Huge,
because everybody's like, I'm not following the rules. I'm here to earn.
So money is the problem.
Every race.
Oh,
sure.
I think COVID also changed racing forever.
Really?
Because I think COVID made people look down the barrel and say, this could be your last race. You might as well make it count.
Wow.
And so I think that mentality has really stuck around as well.
Shit.
Yeah.
Post racing. we've lost some greats. Marco Pantani immediately comes to mind. The glory, the attention, and then nothing. Everything's shut off. The fall, the desolation. If you don't work in the business, what is there after the wheels are hung up? Could you handle a life in a world without bikes? I mean, that's we're talking about the pros, and then us here at this table. Could you handle a world without bikes? And how do you replace or compensate? Anything about post racing? Jack, you're probably pro on this one. See how I did that?
Yeah.
Couldn't help.
I couldn't help
I've quit bike racing. So I quit the first time like at 22. Okay, so I was like burnt and done and got to go. And then I came back and I didn't even know, like 97. So maybe at 28. For a couple good years, a couple, and then I quit again, and so the one thing for me, even though when I ride, my brain says I'm riding specifically to get to the highest level I could possibly get. If we're going running and we're going to do a season, if we're going to ride, I'm going to try to get to some level that is. Because I believe, you're talking earlier about like, well, am I done? I've reached, I hit all these Strava peaks PRs, and PRs all the time. I'm a firm believer that age being a limit, but not being the limit people think. Like, okay, I've reached my PR. I couldn't possibly do this again. I mean, I know cyclists and runners, but you go to Boston and you can look, and there's some runners that are in their 50s that are running 220 marathons. It's not there's ultra guys that are doing what some people will never imagine doing, but some young guys are their competitors, and so it's not so much a. I mean, age is a limitation. I think you have to change your training as you get older. You need more recovery, but I don't think your potential is. At least, I believe your potential isn't limited as much as people think. So that being said, I've quit a bunch, and and when I do want to do something, I'm all in. And then if so, I have this problem with competition. Like, I don't do things just for like casual fun. Like, I won't just go.
I think that's been established about
goof around.
Well, 75% of the people said.
Yeah. So it's just not as. It's not the go out and just ride around for 20 miles, and I'm not gonna put my stuff on, my kit on for a casual ride. It's like, all right, here's the start of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, this is the start of the program. So
is there a world? Yeah, no.
But I've always paid attention. So like, as much as I'm not in riding or not involved, I'm always checking in with people. I'm always on watching the tour, or watching as much racing as possible, or picking up a magazine, because that's just who I am.
So there is no world without bikes.
No.
I couldn't.
No.
You could.
No.
Just kill me.
I think I have, over the past couple of years, come to a realization that I'm like a pretty obsessive person. I need an obsession to like feel productive. For instance, when I played soccer, it was like everything was soccer.
Yeah.
I played the video games. I watched the YouTube videos. I did everything, and it was like all in. It was all I could get. And then after a little while, it kind of after I, fell out of love with it, it was like I was a little lost for a second there, and then I found bikes, and it was like everything just, I glommed onto it. So I don't know if it would be, if I could do a world without bikes, but if I did, I'd have to find another weird obsession to just like glom onto, because that's just, I think, something that I need for some reason.
When people ask you, tell me about yourself, within how many words does the word bicycle come into the equation?
Oh, quick.
If you're meeting somebody who's never met you before, tell me about yourself. Does it come in within the first 50 words?
I try and make a conscious effort not to bring it up.
Not to bring it up. Yeah.
Because obviously, I remember driving down roads even in the last like year or two, and I'll see a ribbon of road or rollers, and in my mind, I'm thinking cycling.
I'd love to ride this ride.
Yeah,
Fucking,
exactly.
This would be a great ride. Yeah.
And it's it's
Jack's
replaced.
confused. We broke his head.
It really is tough, and I've liked it since I was a wee kid, just a little.
Yeah.
I was shitting green, and I wanted to ride a bike, and that's
Wow.
I did.
Yeah.
I wanted to race, and I started late. When I finally got around to it, but yeah, I can't imagine. And once I got the bug, I'm like Jackson. I'm totally in on whatever. I got into golf really seriously, but once I got into cycling, that was really easy to get rid of.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It was
because it's golf.
Yeah, well, it is a mind game, and I like that. And when I found out cycling is even more so for me a mind game. I think it's really important to not be consumed by cycling, because I think it's ever consuming. In all aspects. I see people who try and make it big, and like we're talking about divorces and
Sure.
Bad relationships. So that balance out. In fact, even Saturday, although I was drunk / hungover, one of the guys that joined our ride had just been. He's a ER doc and been working nights for 12 hours.
Yeah.
And he just came along and was like my excuse to shorten up the ride. But nevertheless, he said, I have to be home, and I know, and he's got young kids. I mean, he's told his wife, and, he was anxious and excited to ride with us. And I thought, you know what? I'm feeling like shit anyway. Let's help this guy out in the process. Yeah.
Bonus.
And then I'll just point to him. That's why we cut it short.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Balance.
So, balance. I think that's it. Yeah. Let's finish with something fun, okay? You guys are going to need your phones for this one.
What?
You guys are going to need your phones for this one. And our fun finish is brought to by our friends at Competitive Cyclists. They don't even know I'm doing this. And I got a little inspiration recently. Jack, it's not time to show photos of your grandkids or anything like that.
It's an Audi A3.
A5, I think. Or a SS, or what's the...
So, anyways, what were we talking about?
So I want to put you guys into a mythical situation, all right? A situation that might not very well exist for some of us, okay? You have just been handed $1,000 cash, but every single penny of that needs to be purchased on your cycling life. All right, and I want you guys.
Easy.
No, hold on. I want you guys to. You guys can use your phones for this, and you're going to probably need a pen and paper to keep track of your financial obligations. You can use the back of our predictions for the Vuelta. You can go through. I want you to go through a shopping list and try and get as humanly close to $1,000 even as possible. But you can only go one item at a time because we're going to go around the room. And for example, I will say my first purchase item, and I'm going to give you the total, and I have to get as close to $1,000 dead even as I can. Mind you, I've already done my whole list, and I hit it on the fucking dot.
So you had some time.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
So you can. Here's the rules. Okay. Everything you have to find off of Competitive Cyclist, unless it is a specific product or brand that might not be sold on that website. For example, my first product is an Asiomiya power pedal system. I want a power meter pedal system. I found that on their website for $432. I rounded up. It was like $431.99 or something like that. I rounded up. So my first $432 have been taken because I was talking to Scooter this weekend, and I said, if you had an influx of money, what was the first things you'd buy? And he said, power and wheels. Those are how he would spend his money. So my first purchase is I'm going to open my calculator, and I'm going to say 1,000. And for those of you who know math or better than me, great, you're better than me. Minus $432. I have $568 remaining in my bank. Does anybody have a product already, right out of the gates, that they would like to say they would spend of their $1,000 cash?
Yep.
Paul has it.
2 competition tubulars.
Oh, I had a set of 2 tubulars.
Yeah.
Dang it.
That's $160.
2 competition tubulars. By whom? What?
Continental.
Oh, Continental.
Yeah.
Okay. $160. So okay. So Paul's down $160.
Okay.
You do your math, Paul. Let's see. I'm 1,000 minus 168, right? So you have $832, Paul.
It's $80 a piece, so that's $160.
Okay. $160. So okay, you have $840. Okay. Who wants to go next?
Okay, so I've got one.
Okay.
Not only being sponsor correct.
Yeah,
but
nice, thank
Also, of course.
Cha-ching.
Exactly. The Wahoo Element Bolt for $280.
You want a Wahoo
The new
Element
one.
Bolt.
Yes.
Okay. 1,000. Oh no. See, one minus 2. How much?
280. I rounded
$280.
up.
That's a spendy. You got 720 left.
Yep.
Okay. Jack Broadhead, what's your first product?
Being sponsor correct. A Wahoo Kicker Core Spark Pro Power Trainer at 8.9.
The kicker?
Yeah. At $899.
You're not fucking around, man.
I'm going $900.
You just blew
$900.
You just blew $900.
Yep.
You got $100 left.
I needed a new trainer.
Okay. Jack just went full bore, everything down, double or nothing. You have $100 left, Jack. Okay, it's going to be quick for you. My second product is that I would buy is a Kicker headwind fan. I know it sounds stupid, but because it's a $250 fan, I actually want a fan because I sweat like a pig in the winter months. It's pouring off me. I'm down here in the basement in the studio, and it's still pouring off me. And this fan is triggered to your heart rate monitor, and so it'll get faster as you go harder. So $250 minus $250. I now have $310 left.
Can I go next?
Sure, Jack. You have $100. You have $100. Then you're out. Right?
DeMarchi
Yeah.
is the jersey I'm going to buy. It's the PT Pro
jersey.
It's a 3.1 printed jersey for $99.95. I'm out.
You're like Kramer in the masturbation contest. He's like, I'm out.
Oh, he won?
You bought a trainer and a jersey.
Yep.
That is an interesting use of your $1,000.
Yep.
You know the kickers, the regular kickers, the top shelf is all the regular beer, Jack. There's a ton of it up there, man. I shouldn't say that. Anybody else got their second product?
Yep.
Counting down.
I need $50 to buy the glue to glue on my tires.
You're
That's a big
I love the difference between you and Jack. You've got 2 tires and some glue.
I live on a budget.
Yeah.
I'm not self-employed. I work for.
You don't get any of this
publicly
money.
employed. He's self-employed. He knows he can.
You're not going to get any of this money left over. You got to spend it all or nothing. Okay.
I'm getting as many things. I want like UPS to like take a whole truck and dump.
Do you
it
have a running total so I don't have to do the math?
Yeah, I'm at 790.
790. Jackson Bolter.
Yes, so I would buy a Stages one leg Ultegra power crank for $379.
Stages makes one that's that cheap.
Yeah,
Really?
that's what it says on here. So
wow.
How much was that?
$379. Round it up.
You're out of money, Jack.
Oh.
You're done. I would buy next some Castelli Diluvio Pro shoe covers. Really thick, nice,
there you go.
warm
That's a
winter
good
shoe
idea.
covers. I'm thinking about my time of year. Those are $70. $70. So I am at what? 560. No, I'm at 310. Is all I got left? Man.
It goes fast. With
I've got
back.
$240 left. Paul, you got another one? Because Jack's done.
Yep. I'm a big Asos fan, so it
Okay.
doesn't take long to burn up money that way.
Yeah.
So
true.
two of the Evo bib shorts at $270.
Oh.
So that's $340.
Oh!
And that brings me down to.
Hey, big spender.
Yeah. Brings me down to 400 and $450 left.
$450.
My next product would be two Continental GP 500s, which would bring
5,000s?
5,000.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Which would bring my spending total up to $747.
Okay. I'm going with ASOS arm warmers. Evo 7 arm warmers. Good arm warmers. I need some new ones. $50. Jack, you're just sitting here all
I have a
alone.
couple pair of those. I have a couple pair of
$50.
Asos
$50.
arm warmers already. That's why I had to buy the jersey.
I have $197 left.
I found another one.
Okay.
The Topeak Joe Blow booster, which is able to actually seat tubeless tires on its own.
Oh, floor pump. You don't need a compressor at home.
Exactly. $169. So I have $253 left to spend.
Nice, Paul.
I'm looking it up here. It is a work stand by Park, if I can find it.
Can you put your
Ooh.
carbon bike on it?
That's right. That's what it is.
Okay.
It's I'm kind of
That's
following
weird.
you, Paul. You said ASOS, and I said ASOS.
See, but you already did yours, right?
Just arm warmers.
Oh.
No, my next one is going to be something made by the same company.
By Park?
Oh.
Asos.
No.
No, mine's by Feedback. I had a torque ratchet combo set by Feedback
Oh, no,
Sports.
it's-
100 bones for a good ratchets, a good torque set. I was like, that's not bad at all, which puts me down to 50, 90, 100, $97. I've got $97 left.
I've got some.
Yeah.
Castelli makes a bib tight for $159,
Okay.
which, 1 second, brings me to $94.
$94. So you
Yes.
got $94 to spend. I'll keep going until Paul gets his. I'm going to get a new Dura-Ace chain, 11-speed chain. You should replace your chain. I can't tell you how many times I have not replaced my chain because I keep forgetting to. That's $53. $53. I have $45 remaining in my budget.
God damn, I spent too much money. I was going to get a Park toolkit. It's at
Oh.
$4.99. I have $4.50 left. Hey,
Oh.
can I borrow some bucks?
No,
Do you have any left over?
I got 5 cents left.
Jack's got 5 cents and that's gone.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah.
Individual
Tax, so
tools.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
There you go.
And it'd take me forever.
It
but
would take
It would be
forever.
tools.
Just tools until you
it
run
ran
out.
out. Yep.
My last purchase would be 5 liters of muck off cleaner. $45 even, which puts me at, and I'm not kidding, I am not joking, $1,000 even.
Wow.
You're welcome, everybody.
But you
Yes.
live in the state of Washington, so put
Yeah, the tax and fucking shipping would be all over the place,
Yeah.
and I had time to put my list together this afternoon. Jack,
My
Son.
last one, because $39 at my age is a lot of money.
It is.
So I would spend $55 on a pair of Velotoes neoprene shoe covers.
Yeah.
And it includes the cuff, the waterproof cuff. So I'm
Okay.
saving a little on that, and then I'd keep the rest of the $39 for a
You
good
can't. The rest of the money you can't keep.
for a good coffee for everybody before our ride.
You can't. It's got to be spent on your cycling world. So I just buy tubes, man. Just
Free
buy-
ride
Yeah.
coffee is cycling.
Is it cycling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so.
See,
How much did you get your Grand Prix 5000s for? $43.95.
yeah.
Okay, they're on sale. 45% off.
Then I'd
Not bad. There you go.
I would-
Yeah. Are you
Might have-
intentionally
Buy a gator
squinting at
skin.
your phone like an old man?
I didn't bring my glasses
Hey.
tonight. Can I borrow your glasses? Hey,
you boys, keep sweating out there.
get off my lawn!
We're now referencing. We're now referring to that man in the middle of rides nowadays.
Yeah.
It's just the sound effect has become addictive.
Everybody's perfecting their.
Hey, boy.
black-
The old man on
black
the
and
lawn.
bread.
Yeah,
Black and
exactly.
bread.
So I think we've come to some conclusions for this podcast. Number one,
I need to ride more.
a world
Yeah.
a world without bikes is like a backpack full of rocks.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But your backpack full of rocks metaphor was brilliant, Jack.
Wasn't-
That's number
it
one.
wasn't mine.
Number two, $1,000 would make everything so much better.
Yes.
And number three, the pros have it harder, even though the old pros probably thought they had it harder. don't you think? Every generation thinks they have it harder.
All the old people thought they had it harder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They race in worse conditions
walk
with
uphill
worse
both
gear.
ways.
Yeah.
Carry a hot baked potato in your pocket to keep your hands warm.
Yeah, you eat it for lunch.
Yep.
When you're in school.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I actually remember riding my bike to school with my hair froze.
Yeah.
It would freeze. Yeah, because I'd leave the house without hair.
Yeah.
And it would freeze. a
Been
little
there.
more. Yeah, that was tough, and it made me bitter. And I was thankful for all I had. And finally, number 4, Jack Broadhead needs to show up to the studio and probably
Ride a little
ride
bit.
a bike a little bit. Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, can't talk about cycling.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys. My next week's cycling progress is gonna suck. I don't see myself riding a whole lot this week. 'Cause we got to get Jax moved into a new apartment, and then Sunday I got a video shoot, so I gotta go do that, and that's work. That's not like I'm going shooting a cycling video or anything like that. You guys got any? You guys gonna ride this week?
I'll ride.
Yeah.
Both Saturday, Sunday. Well, tomorrow we're talking about doing something tomorrow, but
Ooh. Yeah, we are. We're kicking around the idea.
yeah, and I won't be there because I have a granddaughter coming over. So
Just put her down for a
See?
nap.
That's
She won't
what I
notice
was saying.
shit.
Yep.
rock her to sleep.
Yeah. She won't notice
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
That's a rock.
Take a rock.
Oh my god.
All right, I won't sponsor anything on that one.
Yeah.
Brought to you by
Yeah, brought to you by
Benadryl.
I said Benadryl. I said Budweiser. You said
guys
Benadryl.
did. You guys
One way or the
did.
other.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
know how to put,
Benadryl
we know how to
and
put kids
Budweiser.
to sleep.
Yeah, next week parenting advice. Parenting advice.
Yep.
There you
Oh
go.
shit, I gotta stop her before I go grab a 12% beer and just call it a week. Thanks, Jackson Bulger. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Paul Main, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Jack, what is it?
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a
Yeah.
while. Thanks
Yep.
for being here, buddy.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, and thanks to everybody for